Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the High Velocity Wave Trader Room for Monday, August 17th. This room is meant for educational purposes. We will talk about hypotheticals, simulated, in some cases, real results. I highly recommend you demo trade this approach for a period of time until you have a really good, solid understanding. Hopefully you had a good weekend. You're ready to do some trading. And so let's get right into the DAX recap. This occurred a number of hours ago. For us in the United States, it was we look at the 2 a.m. start time and the 3 a.m. 2 a.m. is optional. The 3 a.m. is the better time to focus on. So we always cover those two start times. So here's the 2 a.m. start. Initially out of the open on the active part of the session, we get this 3 trade intense sequence. This happens all same second. When that occurs, you will sell stop below this pivot in the process. That's not going to trigger. The market's going to move up, give us our second active trade here, 3 trader intense sequence at the 38-second mark. You would work this setup around the pivot. In other words, you want to see movement. You want to see traction for a possible trade here. You want to see it break this prior pre-market pivot that we would have marked up on the chart. So your entry on this one is right here, 3 ticks above this area. From the adjusted entry, you can see we get to our 7.5 target exactly. And on the 5-bar stop, we would have exited for a little bit of a loss on that part of the trade, but overall, that is a win. And we only go for POQ1 on the 2 a.m. session. So once you get that first winner, you're done. There is another second trade, a nice one here, but again, focus on POQ1 only on the 2 a.m. On the 3 a.m., you have the option of POQ1 or 2. I want to encourage you to do that. Whatever you decide, if you're a new trader, go for POQ1, power of quitting 1. That 1 win on the session and get done. Once you have a little more experience, then you can go for 2. And then once you're advanced, you can certainly look for opportunities into the session when the market gets active. So let's go to the 3 a.m. and walk through it. Again, this is what we term the active part of the session. All we need is a 3 trader intent confirmed sequence. We get that at the 1 second mark here. Price is going to move up really quickly. This would have been a pre-market pivot you would have looked at and been looking to go long above. And at the 4 second mark, looks like we're going to get into this trade above this area. Monster move to the upside. You're going to get your fixed target no matter where you get in, whatever decision you make here. 7.5. On the big wave exit from the adjusted entry, you're going to get 29.5 points. That's a home run trade out of the gate and done in 39 seconds. Very quick trade. Yes, I get it, very quick. This move here was instantaneous. The entry was 4 seconds in, and it actually pulled back here, gave you lots of opportunity at the 22-second mark. It's below your buy stop. You certainly could put your buy stop in even at this point where you wanted to get in. So this trade's executable. It's fast. I get it. The DAX is, but done very quickly on that first trade. Second trade, again, active. We'll take up to 2 active trades. So this is a 3 trader intent sequence to the downside. And that's good for a fixed target of 7.5. And on the big wave from that setup, you would have had a break even. So this is POQ2 on the session. Second trade, not as big as the first one, but it's a winner nonetheless. And so you would be POQ2 in 1 minute and 12 seconds. So first, let me say, for those that are new, welcome to you. I would recommend that you refresh your charts every session before you start. Refresh. In NinjaTrader, it's F5. At TradeStation, Control-R. If you are new in the room, you should step aside and just watch a number of these sessions before you even think about trading real money. Heading up towards the session high, so it looks like that's going to become an area of interest for us. So we'll see what happens here. A 3 trader intent sequence from this point, you're going to buy stop above the session high. Easy call. 3 seconds. Here we go. Opening bar gives us a 3 trader intent sequence to the downside. Sell stop below this pivot here. Sell stop below this pivot that we identified pre-market 1579.2. 1, 2 ticks. If you landed on the 0, you're in. If you're going to go to 78.9, you're not in yet. So sometimes you'll adjust around that psychological level. Up to you what you do. So here was the setup. It's up there a ways. And you're in the trade no matter what now. So what we'll do is manage this with our 5-bar stop. We've hit the 12-tick target from the setup. Obviously, you haven't from the adjusted entry yet. 19 ticks from the setup. Let's see, I'm going to go from here. We've gone 8 ticks from the adjusted entry, and I took the lowest one there. So again, use the 5-bar stop on both your positions if you're not out. And there you go. You should be out of the adjusted entry here. Market moving in our favor, 18 ticks from that adjusted entry. We can still go long. Keep that in mind on a 3-trader intent sequence to the upside. Could get that pop as we head towards this area we were concerned about. So be ready for a 3-trader intent sequence to the upside here. And we'll trail our remaining big weight position to the downside using our 5-bar stop mechanism. All right, let's see how it moves through this area. We are concerned about this area. It's at least pausing. 5-bar stop at 1578.3 on our remaining big weight position. As I mentioned, 3-trader intent sequence to the upside is a go for a long yet. So we have that possibility for another 2 minutes. Right now, if we get a 3-trader intent sequence, I would do the stop and reverse at the 5-bar stop. That's what I would do in this situation. So we'll see. We had a 1 count, but now it's back to 0. So anytime you get an opposing bar and you're looking for a 3-trader intent sequence, you always reset, and that's what happens with this down bar. So we'll look for that another fresh 3-trader intent, and there you go. I would buy stop above this 5-bar stop. Make that your stop. Basically, make that your stop in reverse. Again, 1578.3 is the 5-bar stop. If it sets a pivot here, 1 tick below with a down bar, we're going to move that stop and reverse up 1 more tick. There you go. Triggered into the trade, and now it decides to pivot after triggering our second active trade in. So first active trade complete. Here is the second active trade. From the setup, you always track progress from the setup to know when to engage the 5-bar stop. We've gone 5 ticks. And getting a little bit of sideways movement here. Trade has now gone 9 ticks in our favor from the setup, not from the adjusted entry. So we're looking for that 12-tick target to be hit from the setup. Once that's hit, we will engage the 5-bar stop on both our positions. Price making another pass. There you go. There's our 12-tick target from the setup. Now use the 5-bar stop mechanism on both of your positions. From the adjusted entry we got in here, we've hit the 12-tick target. So we're out of that fixed. Should be out of that fixed on this reversal. On active trade number 2. Took a little bit. There was some sideways movement here. So 5-bar stop on this second trade, 1577.5. From the adjusted entry, we've gone 14 ticks now. 5-bar stop will move up to 77.7. So once again, we've got some fairly slow price action. We've been able to get 2 good trades off, so that's always good. Now getting some movement, heading towards that session high. It'll first deal with this pivot at 1581.4. Let's see what it does with that. And pivoting just below this prior pivot at 1581.4 that I spoke about. 5-bar stop, 79 even. So we're going to move that up to 79 even. If you like to work around the zeros, you'd go to 78.9. $27 ticks now on this trade from our adjusted entry. And that 5-bar stop being taken out. If you give it the 2 extra ticks, you would also be out of this trade. So trade number 2 done. POQ 2 on the session at about the 5-minute, 38-second mark. So always good to be POQ and done on the session. I encourage, if you're new in here, again, sorry it's repeat for the long-time members, but you really need to focus on POQ 1, which you would have been done on this first trade. Or if you want to, after you've got some experience, you can go for 2 wins on the session, and that's what this day has produced for us. I will always call trades into the session in this 30-minute window because it's a training session, and we'll just show you the method as price action gives us each and every trade here for the next few minutes. All right, we've got a 10-bar move down and now a 3-trader intent sequence. That's a go for our third trade short. So this is a 10-bar leg, pullback, 3-trader intent sequence. That's a go right there for your short in trend mode. This trade's hit the 11-tick mark from the setup. You should be thinking about getting out of your fixed position somewhere back behind this setup a couple ticks, which right now if you're a couple ticks back, you're going to be out. So whenever it gets that close to the fixed target, you need to make that kind of a risk reduction on the fixed position only, position number one. The big wave risk remains on in full until the theoretical 12-tick target is hit. So there's the 12-tick target from the system entry. So now on the big wave position that we're still in, you would be using the 5-bar stop. Currently, 1578.2. So we drew this line early on. We said that this area here was going to be a problem, and look what's happened into the session. Rejection here, and rejection here for the moment. It's going to try to process down through here. Let's see if it can break down through in a significant way. But it's definitely, pausing here and setting a pivot at this ultimate low pivot point here. This whole area was we identified as an issue. 5-bar stop in this case will move down to 77.9. There's a couple pivots here you could work around a little more advanced. There's a 1578.1, up to you on that. So the tight stop is out at 78 even. The trade didn't hit the 2-point mark, so that's really where you should be out on the tight stop. If you're a little more advanced and want to work it around a pivot like this, you can certainly do that, but you would be out also. All right, trade number 3 complete.